What's going on, Blue Chips? How we doing this morning? Let's still getting things a little organized. Got a lot going on this morning yet again. Who would have thought? Everything's hard when you first start. Keep going. It gets easier. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so wife's on a work call. SPY's gapping up huge, which is good for us. Hopefully we're not disappointed at the open today. And then, yeah, kids are being fun. As you can hear, the Roomba is running around. Marketing, what's up? Josh, what's going on? Vincenzo, how you doing? Yo, Josh, speaking of you, I did a little bit more research and stuff, and believe it or not, I don't know if it was the main reason, but I took some peat moss and I put it down in like the bare spots where there was still seed that didn't wash away or the birds got and all that good stuff. And hey, 2 days we had some grass. I was pretty excited. But yeah, sorry if it's a little noisy in the background. Not going to let the TV be on, so at least you guys won't hear that. But as you can see, looking at the SPY, we are quite the gap up. I was up until 3 o'clock this morning, and it's Eastern time. So, yeah, I saw that this was happening. Around like 12 midnight, I had looked at it, and we were actually gapping down. And then right before I went to bed 3 hours later, we were way up like this. I was like, what is going on? So, believe it or not, I was also taking a look at the Webull account. We're doing fairly well here. And I'm actually going to be looking to probably take partials on some of these positions because I feel like we're pretty extended at the moment. And I feel like we could probably take some partials and then add them back at a better time. But yeah, that's just my thought process. We're going to see what happens here at the open. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, worst case scenario, we just hold on to everything, and then if it does pull back, we'll just look to add anyway. But we'll see. We shall see. But going into the open, we don't really have too much to look at. I'm just going to be using the scanners, and we'll see what happens. Real estate shares, they didn't really. I was looking for stocks that had a big downside that went down a lot. Real estate didn't really go down that much. But what's up, Thomas? If you notice, let me move most of the stocks I took here. I mean, I did take some Toll Brothers. It's not really exactly real estate, but it is like housing related. So, I mean, there is that. I keep moving it down here just so when I need to make some moves, that's where I need it. But yeah, going into the open here, we got about 2 minutes. SPY is still making a move upwards. This is good, right? This is exactly what we want for our strategy. Every time that we've come close to this in the past, where if you look at it, I mean, huge gap up, so we know things are going to be looking good for us, but we set that pre-market high here, 274.50, 274.64 here on the SPY. So we really need the SPY to go through that at the open. That's what we need, right? Because then all the stocks that are like it will follow suit. So, I mean, as you can see, everything is just gapping up here. American Airlines. Delta was actually the only one. I'm assuming it's still getting a little bit of the Warren Buffett aftermath. With him dumping his shares, not all of his shares, but dumping some shares, so people kind of were like, oh no, Warren Buffett's dumping his shares. And so yeah, some people, I guess, really appreciate his opinion, which is obviously understandable. But as you can see, it's not quite moving with the SPY. SPY is actually trying to go towards high of day right now, and this thing is, as you can see, not doing that. So we'll see what Delta does. I have no problem holding Delta in the long term. Like I said, even if one of the 8 companies that I'm invested in right now decides to go bankrupt for whatever reason, then, you know, oh well, we're going to have to deal with it. So just kind of scrolling through them right now. Oops, that was one too many. Play was our biggest winner when this all first started. That thing shot up and then just didn't come back down. But right now, our biggest winner is MGM. And believe it or not, we have an extra entry in Carnival, Delta, and American. And those are 3 of the bottom 4 in our portfolio right now. So MGM is actually the big winner as of right now. And yeah, so we'll see. Again, if everything is indeed getting better, we shall see how everything plays out. What's up, Jeff? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. There's the bell. Oh, maybe there it is. And here we go. So I'm going to give it about 30 seconds. There goes the SPY trying high of day here. Yeah, might even try to make some money off MGM here right off the bat. SPY's right there at high of day. Let me take a shot here on MGM. Just feels like it keeps getting stuffed right here at this area. If we can get back below 50, I'd feel pretty good about this working out real quick. If not, then oh well, we'll take a loser to start the day. There's so much going on the scanner right now. Let's see. Scrolling through the charts here. Although I will say if this decides to push high of day, we're pretty much going to get stopped out pretty quickly, I would think. Just one I was willing to take a quick chance on. Is really fighting this 50. Oh, we're coming down. Ooh, we need a little bit more of a push here. No, all right. And we got our fill. So there we go. Nice quick winner to start the day there on MGM. Let's keep looking here. That's a little spready. Ooh, Ellen's, that would have been a good one. It's a little spready as well. MAC. What's the 140? Spread on this isn't bad. This looks like it already had a pullback underneath 7 though. So we'll be careful with that one. The SPY's starting to pull back a little bit. I tried to scroll. I've scrolled through so many charts there so fast, and I really didn't see anything too awesome. What is this? SC. It's right near a halt. Had a ton of volume come in, but now it's just chilling. WES. There we go. Nice little pop out of WES. Some pretty crappy spread here. If we can get this pop up through 480, I'd be interested. SPY made a move over high day, and now it's coming back a little bit. Now everything's coming back down. Seeing what WES does here. Come on. Let's give us that pop-up source 5. It'll stop. Oh, yeah, SPY is actually getting kind of crushed right now. So part of me wants to sell a few of my shares here. But then every part of me is like, no, you idiot, don't sell. Still watching WES here. Volume's not amazing. Well, I mean, the volume's okay. It's just a little slower mover. SPY's kind of just chopping here. What's up, Mr. Gifford? Jason, what's going on, man? Nice to see you guys in here. Appreciate that, Jason. Yeah, that was a pretty quick one on MGM. I knew right at the bell there that was either going to work or it didn't, and man, look at that. Should have sold some of those shares up on MGM. Up at... At least I made some of the money back that I probably lost back there. At least temporarily. And part of me is just thinking the SPY is pretty extended, especially with that gap up, that we're most likely going to get some kind of a pullback, like a decent pullback. So I figured maybe we could take some of these shares off on most of the positions. There we go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens going into the 10:30 area. Still have before. There goes the SPY. Not gonna lie, I feel like the SPY is kind of doing what it normally does when you get that big sell-off at the open, and then you end up grinding higher the rest of the day. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Boeing up 20% while announcing. Yeah, it makes no sense. That's why I said I feel like there's going to be some sort of pullback. So dang, nice continuation move down there on MGM. I'm glad we took that trade right there at the open because there really wasn't too much else that really did what we wanted it to do. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I plan on holding these things for a couple years. I really would like to get full position though, so we'll see if that happens. A lot of stocks moving down here with the SPY. Well, that's why I tried to size into my positions. 20, like I split all of my tickers into four separate entries. So that way, if it did continue down, I would have been just fine. The problem is that I wanted it to continue down, and it never did. We actually caught the bottom the first time, and we kind of made a decent ad. Not a horrible ad for the second ones, but then we have a third ad on Carnival, Delta, and American Airlines, which the third entries weren't that bad, but the second ones weren't great. But, I mean, obviously, as I showed you guys this morning, we're doing decent with the overall P&L on it now, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm looking to hold these long term, but the question is, I feel like these going up like this when they're still literally bringing in zero money, doesn't really make sense, especially with some getting ready to go through earnings and all that. Wish we had some shares here on SKT. That would have been a good one. This would have actually been perfect. Look at this. Man, that's exactly what we look for right here. You guys got shares on this. That's a nice move. Nice float, 90 million. This is like my bread and butter right here. Especially right up here towards 7. Giving it a little bit of room, looking for it to come back down, give you that 650 test. It's a little frustrating. All right, well, we can't play it, so we'll move on. Yeah, I saw a lot of people have been looking at this AKER. Did she go behind us? I'll let her know. She's on a work call right now, so I don't want to yell in there to her, or else I would. I can't short AKER anyway. But just because it's above the pre-market highs, it's not even above the pre-market highs. But even if it was, you still want to get like a really nice extension from it. I'm curious, what did it do? Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. That would have been so beautiful. Let's see, our move 650. So we would have used the 50-cent button. We'd already be out with a winner. Oh, well. I mean, there's not much we can do about it. When you don't have shares, you don't have shares. The SPY is rebounding here. I feel like what the SPY does here is kind of telling on what it's most likely going to do for the rest of the day. If this hits VWAP, comes back down, and goes low a day again, low of intraday, I definitely think we're going to see kind of a sell-off for most of the day. But if this thing wants to get up to VWAP and kind of just grind its way through, I think we might go kind of sideways or grind a little bit higher. Did Wes end up doing? And Wes never really extended like we wanted it to. Oh, and Acre is halted. Change the name of your stream. Oh, yep, sorry. I was really busy this morning. Thank you, GDT. It's usually one of the first things I do, but I was pretty busy this morning with the kids, and I was on next to no sleep. So just the one trade so far on MGM Still just scrolling through some charts here, looking for something else. The HTZ would be nice if we can get a pop through high of day. Get a nice little run up there towards 650. See what happens here. SPY would need to get up through VWAP, I feel, for this to happen. TRTX. BLMN. Yeah, it's just kind of chilling down there. I actually thought about taking that one, but yeah, as you can see, that's looking like one of them ones that just isn't going to bounce. Here we go with Wes. See if we can get this pop through 5 here. Something spready. So not a bad extension there, but again, we don't have the setup. I mean, I could take the 50-cent button and use it. We would just be asking for a lot more of the move back than we want. Because right here, the extension through the resistance is only 25-30 cents. And we'd be looking to get 20 of that using the 50-cent button. That's why I'd like to see the pop through 5. The SPY is through VWAP here. What was that? HTZ. Maybe put a couple of these up so I can watch them as they move. I got Wes up on my bottom screen, actually. MAC is halted. PVH. PVH is kind of lower volume, but it's making a pretty decent move. Oh, look at that. That thing could halt. I was about to hit the ass there at 48.50, whatever it was, but we wouldn't have got filled anyway. But it did pop right back up here. So I'm keeping an eye on it. These are the tricky ones because I don't really get filled on the ass too much with the smaller share size. Let's just get away from it because it's not doing what we want. So Wes actually did give us that 20-cent pullback. It looks like, yep, right on the dot. If you got high of day, which we obviously wouldn't have. So there's CPRI. We played them yesterday. See if we can get a push through from them. Hertz isn't doing anything. CPRI through 1350 here. Be interested. It stopped at 1348. This is not extended away enough for us through that previous resistance. I mean, we're like super close. Be looking for that 1350 pop. Some nice resistance on this thing at that 14 area. So that would have been perfect if we got that pop through 1350. Camden, no. No. They can hear that. Yeah, they can hear that when you do that.
Did you chase rides on your daddy's desk?
Yeah, he stopped to play with the mic. No. IVR, LADR. Just scrolling through charts on the bottom one as we watch CPRI here. NRZ actually doesn't look too bad. The range isn't great on it though. AL looks like a grinder there, Jeff. I'll probably stay away from that. I mean, it is pretty extended, but Looks a little bit like a grinder. So PVH looks like it would have worked. It definitely would have worked. But we wouldn't have got filled there when we tried to get in anyways. So nothing really giving us the move that we want. Unfortunately, the SPY took that dive right after the open, so we only got that initial run the first couple minutes, and then pretty much nothing since then. As usual, just scrolling through some charts. All right, here's CPRI. See if we can get that 1350 pop. Yes, Kyle, we were talking about Acre earlier. Here we go, 1350. See if we can get that push up towards 14. Come on, come on. Keep pushing. Come on. Need a good push here. Up through 70. So close. Come on. There we go. Some bid action coming. Just need that push towards 14 here. I think DCP would have been really nice. We don't have any shares there. I'd really like CPRI to get up through 1370 here. It's kind of struggling. It's also not dipping yet, so it doesn't feel like it's done. It's fighting to continue here. Keeps fighting. Can't get through, though. Might be a bad sign. We're not going to really get what we want. Oh, there we go. We're through. Let's see if we can get the push now. I was expecting more of a pop there. There we go. Here we go.
That's okay, you can put it down. Choo-choo.
Alright, we're going to try it here. Puts us above the 50 tap, and it puts us over the whole dollar up there. So see if we can come back down and get that 50 test before it wants to try to continue, if it does. We'll keep looking around as that works itself out. What did Wes end up doing? Wes is kind of just grinding at this point. CNK is kind of interesting if it wants to really push through high a day. The volume's not too great there. Dang, look at her squeeze. It would kind of suck because if we get that 14 pop, we might get a little bit of a squeeze, so it'll probably get us, but we'll see. What's our average there? 81. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I actually like the spot that we got there, right above that previous resistance, using a whole dollar as possible resistance. Also, front running by 1 cent, a key area there at the $half. So we shall see. Dang, look at RCL running right now. Did they get some good news? Or is the SPY just really running? Oh, the SPY's coming back up on high a day. So that might not work out in our favor for CPRI here. The SPY's making a lot of these move. We're gonna keep an eye out here on some other ones. So it's not necessarily looking that great on CPRI at the moment. Really not too much else moving. So if we do end up winning this one, we would have already failed the 2-to-1. So we wouldn't have made 2-to-1 on this one. We would have got stopped out already. So not good news for the future strat, but we'll see if the 1-to-1 plays out here. Nice little sell-off there. Helps out. Like I said, we're just looking for that previous resistance to test. The $half as well. And then this thing can kind of do whatever it wants. We wouldn't care, right? We'd be out of the trade. SPY is coming back down a little bit here, so that might be helping. And right back up with the SPY. SPY's looking like we're in a little bit of a range here. 275 to 272, which could be good. It could be good for the SPY itself as far as kind of consolidating here. Right? The SPY would kind of look like a grinder at that point if we can get some consolidation. Doesn't feel good now that we came back up from that 70 area all the way back up. It got bought all the way back up there to 14. The odds are you're going to get the 14 test again, and you probably get a squeeze through when it happens, which would put us in a losing situation. There it is, the squeeze through, 1408, 12, and there we go. So we got stopped out, CPRI. So we are now back to break even on the day. We got just a slight bit of slippage there. We're actually up 34 cents on the day because we actually got some slippage when we won on MGM. But we'll see what CPRI wants to do here. If it wants to extend itself, I really like that area because if you look at the daily and the 60-minute, or just the daily in general, we had a good area of resistance right there. Right here at 14. Yeah, I'm trying to scroll over it. 1410 was the resistance, so our stop was literally almost perfect to that. But this could be a little bit of a fake out. Who knows? Obviously, nobody knows. If this wants to run up towards 1450, we'd definitely be interested again. Actually be looking to use almost the same button here. So 2-to-1 and 1-to-1 would have failed, obviously. Choppy halt fest, can't really define risk. I mean, you can always define risk. RLGY. Get that 350 pop. It tried. It got 1 cent through on RLGY. Oh, you're talking about AKER just by itself. Gotcha. Looks like ACRE. I'm assuming that's a lower float. Still watching CPRI here. I'd like to see a nice move through 1450. This thing is starting to grind up a little bit here. RLGY, we were looking for that pop through 350. It only got to 351 and just kind of stopped. Dang, ACRE, that would have been instant gratification. It was about to halt and then came straight down. There goes CPRI. Only going to assume the SPY is coming back down, yeah. I'm still watching RLGY, seeing if it wants to give us a move through that 350 area, but it's kind of just hanging out. CPRI, we're going to keep an eye on this, maybe for a descending triangle, since it's kind of stalling out here. RLGY is now starting to move down. This WMC is kind of grinding up. The range is not very great. Excuse me. I don't know what happened to RCL there, but that thing made a run. Now it's coming back down, though. Jeez, ACRE, man. Now it's trying to halt going down. What a move. CPRI, I don't really want it to die here just yet. I'd like to see it form a nice ascending triangle. Yikes. I pulled up the stock Z. That thing just shot up to 42 and then immediately back down under 41, all in like a split second. That was interesting. A lot of selling pressure here on CPRI. Man. Excuse me. It's going to be a bummer if this works. I mean, it does kind of look like a descending triangle already, but I really wanted it to kind of work itself out a little bit first. So this is kind of what we wanted before it broke 14, if it does. All right, we're going to try it. See if we can get that move back down towards 14 now and see if we can get the breakthrough. If not, our stop will be high of day. Looking to possibly take half here at 14 if it doesn't want to poke through. Might even take half if we do get the quick bust through. There we go. Some good downward pressure here.
You should be done working in a little bit. Can you wash your tablet until then?
There we go.
I don't know if Daddy will get in trouble if that plays in the background.
Yeah, maybe. All right, we're going to take off most of the position there. Let's see if we can let the rest run here. Take that off. That was our descending triangle playing out there. So I'm thinking about maybe a trailing stop, but I think we're just going to play the pivot points with this one. So technically our pivot is 1426 at the moment. So our position is now 10. Target 26. If it wants to give us 51, let's put an order out there at 51. Actually, let's just do 55 if it gives us that quick test. If it wants to give it to us now, we'll take it because it's a pretty big move down. If not, we'll play the pivot points. It would suck to give all that back because the first pivot is up here at 1425, but I mean, we could just use the whole dollar, but how many times you see it just spike up through the whole dollar real quick and then continue down? If you guys are here, I see there's about 20 of you here, so a little bit over. If you don't mind dropping that like, helps the YouTube algorithm. Maybe it'll help push this down to 55. Let's go. The more likes, the more we get the push down towards our target here at 55. I know that isn't actually how it works, but hey, you never know. It might help. We're getting pretty close here. We got down to, I think I almost got down into the 50s there, 63. This definitely feels heavy at the moment, but it looking like we might get a little bit of a squeeze here. So 94. I definitely think we'll get down here and test this previous resistance. I don't really see anything else going on at the moment. Dang, a nice panic move out of NVAX here. Looks like it already made a bounce though. NVAX. AER or AKER?
No.
So this feels like it wants to come lower, just not quite getting it just yet. I would be very happy with 55. The more and more I look at the chart, and got some decent support right there at the 50 area. AER. Oh wow, yeah, AER was a nice one. Is that the one that I said looked like a grinder, but then up there at the top it actually made a pretty decent move? So well done. I like that one, marketing. Yeah, I'll take a look at it here in a few. It's starting to look like it's bottoming out here. Sticking to the plan though, especially because we have the leftovers. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody hit that like button. Let's go. 7 cents. See that one little push through 60 here. There we go. 59, 58, 57, 57, 57. We don't even need 50. We just need 56. There we go. One more. We're on the bid. No fill there on the bid. And it jumped against us. 14 cents if we took it there. That we missed. We were on the bid. Yes, Camden. The battery's dead? Yeah. You're going to have to wait a sec, bud.
Yep, you're gonna have to wait. I told you have to wait for Daddy.
See if we can try one more time here. 57, 56 on the bid. And there we go. Got our fill. Beautiful trade, guys. It's the first ascending triangle I've taken in a while there. I'm pretty happy with it. I told myself trading the way that I am now, I need to start taking more of those. And that was a pretty good one. I like that one. That was actually almost like a 1.5 R trade there. Risking 10, we ended up making 1382 on it. So pretty happy with that one. All right, let me take a look here, marketing. Oh, I like it. Yeah, you did get the top of that move. Nice. Only if you're a little bit more patient with that cover. I mean, I see why you covered. So there's nothing wrong with it, but it does kind of suck looking at it now, right? So we got CPRI and MGM. Those are our trades. MGM kind of tanking here. I guess the SPY isn't looking that great now. Let me take a look. Yeah, SPY, look at that thing selling off. It tried to do what I said. It tried to grind it through VWAP, but it got rejected. Yes. Hold on, I'm almost done, okay? You're going to have to wait, bud. What was I looking at? CPR. I was just curious what this did at 1350. I feel like even if it does get through 50 here, I mean, there's some pretty decent resistance here as well. So I feel like VWAP and that would kind of hold it up. This stupid OneDrive, it's It's kind of annoying. Every time you restart your computer, you gotta load it back up. All right, there we go. So how's everybody doing today? What's the roundup? Everybody doing all right? We ended up 2 for 3 here. We're up 1.5 R, so can't really complain there. Little sad with not taking some shares off on the long-term positions this morning because the market's doing exactly what I thought it would do, kind of rolling over, giving us a little bit of a pullback. But you know what? I'm not too upset about it. We'll see if it wants to find some support in these areas so that we can look to add to our position, because on most of these we still have half our position to add. So really not going to be too upset about it. But it would have been nice to maybe take some of it off and look for this dip to add it back, because I felt like it was impossible that it wasn't going to happen. Let's see. Check some of the others here. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of following suit. RCL's holding up there a little bit. Gifford shorted Oxy. Yeah, it's a bit of a grinder, but it worked out. SSL was a nice one here off the scanners. Not too much range, though. Yeah, LK, by the way, guys, if for some reason you're in this thing, it's halted for news. It's been halted all morning. I'm assuming it's probably not good news. If you guys looked at the daily here, this is the one that said they are probably going bankrupt, and they went from 25 pretty much all the way down to 5, and that was a pre-market move, which is just crazy. If they would have announced that intraday instead of pre-market, they might not have went down as far because of all the halts it would have ensued. I don't understand how you can't halt in the pre-market, but hey, stock market is the stock market. News to delist. Oh, so the news is already out. Yeah, so sucks for anybody that's long LK. LABU. Grinder. Oh, I'm not saying grinders don't pay. I'm just saying grinders are not part of my personal strategy. That's all. Hey, an extended stock is an extended stock. I totally agree with you there. The odds are you're going to get a pullback. But I know the odds of a pullback are much greater with the fast movers. CPRI back on the scanner here. It's moving back up. So look at that cover. What I tell you guys. I can't be too upset with that. Like I said, we had that 1327 line VWAP, the $0.50. It did get down to 38, but I'll be very happy with that extra cover there. Probably could have been a little bit more patient with this one. There was really no reason to get out. It didn't even retest 14, and then it just kind of kept diving. So that was kind of our fault. We definitely left some money on the table there. But my plan there was on the move down, the way that this thing kind of grinded up over here, the way we saw the price action, it kind of kept getting bought up. We didn't want this thing to squeeze back through 14, so we wanted to just, take off most of our position there for a decent profit, right? Because we got the top of this descending triangle. So when we got that flush from the descending triangle, we didn't necessarily want to not take profits there, right? That was a really good entry, and we wanted to take advantage of it. So, and that's why we kept some. That was why I didn't take all of it there, is because I knew we were a little bit early if this descending triangle wanted to continue down, and we had that level there at 1350. So that was where we put our shares out, and so far it's looking good. So it's looking like mostly everything's kind of calming down right about now. So if you guys are headed out as things slow down, don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. If you're new here, my name is Tim at Volatility Trading. We show you everything every single day, truthful, transparent, anything. You guys want to see something, let me know. I used to have my P&L up on the screen. It just got in the way. I figured having one nice big chart for all of you watching, trying to learn, it's much better to be able to see the chart versus the P&L, because the P&L really in the end doesn't matter because it's all relative. Whether I'm trading 10 shares or I'm trading 1,000 shares, the chart is going to look exactly the same. The money, to me, starting an account with $3,000 versus somebody starting an account with $30,000, it's all relative. They might have $30,000 of expendable cash where I only have $3,000, but your trades should be looking the exact same regardless of how much you're using. So that was why I took the P&L off the screen. I have no problem showing you guys the P&L. I'll even show you the positions from today. I don't hide any of that. Anyone that's been here for a long time, they know that. I'm here every single day showing you every single thing that I do. I don't want to be associated with any of those other gurus that only put videos out when they're winning. They're trying to sell you stuff, all that good stuff. I'm not here to sell you anything. The only thing that you could say I'm trying to sell to you is the things that I'm affiliated with, but the reason I'm affiliated with them is because I use them. So I know that it would have been helpful for me when I first started out to have a channel that I could trust, knowing that what they were using and saying that they use and were affiliated with was because they actually like to use them. So the scanners, the broker, everything that I use is because I know it's the best thing to use, and that's the only reason that I became affiliated with them, is to try to get you guys a better price if you also want to use the same tools. So don't ever for a second think I'm trying to sell you anything. I am just letting you guys know that those options are there. I can get you the discount because I'm affiliated with them. That's the sole purpose of being affiliated with them. Obviously, yes, I do get some money in return, but hey, that's a way to support the channel, and I appreciate your support if you do use the code, the link, whatever it is. So I just want you guys to have a channel that every single day you can come to and know that the truth is being spoken. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff, always feel free to chime in, and I appreciate that. So, but yes, the journey is unique, but yes, the skills are the truth. That is very true. I just like to make sure that everyone knows that I am not hiding anything. That's worst case scenario for me. I've been 100% transparent since this channel started. So I just want you guys to know that at any point in time you have a question, just ask. I will give you the answer, and if I don't have the answer, I will do my best to find the answer. So yeah, Alex, yeah, I'm going to hang around here about 5 more minutes, see if we can get something else to pop up. But yeah, I'm going to be getting out of here in about 5 minutes or so. You've got that unique counter trend edge. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't dig that. That's why you don't see me with 130 some people watching my stream every morning like some other streamers. But hey, what I'm doing, it seems to be working. Let me show you guys get this set up real quick. I'll do this as well. I finally did get the code worked out for TraderSync. If you guys are interested in a journal and you have that little bit of money to spend, because it is a little bit more on the expensive side for TraderSync, but this thing is pretty amazing. So if we take our trades real quick, let's export them to our trades folder. Just to show you how that is done too. You would bring up the trade log. Here, let me just show all of it to you. So you would have your trade log open up here on DOS. If you're using DOS, you hit export. I made a folder just to make it easier to find. Today is the 7th, April 7, and I put .csv just to make sure. I'll pop this back in since we don't need it anymore. Just go up here to add trade. I already have this set up, but as you can see, there's so many different brokers depending on who you're using. So ours is DOS. Everything else is set up correctly. Go to where we saved it, April 7, open. Should be 3 trades. Pop up here in the top right after we hit import. I did hit import, right? Guess we'll find out here in a second. Oops. April 7th, import trades. There it goes. There we go. Imported 3 trades. And go back to the dashboard. And there's our trades. So we're sitting at 70% right now. So if we can trade 70% with a 1-to-1, that's a moneymaker, right? So not going to be too upset about that. Our profit factor right now 2.74. That's really good. And then let's go into these individually real quick. We can put the setups that we had. Obviously, they're all single entries right now. This was this the descending triangle? Yes, this was. So descending triangle, I don't have to put if it would have followed the 2-to-1 in here because I've been keeping track of that as well. And then we'll come down here. We'll put our chart in. Screenshots, CPRI, and there we go. And we'll click this little arrow. We could have went back to the dashboard, but we can just go by the arrow here. So here was the losing trade on CPRI. So single entry. This was 2-to-1 would obviously not have worked, but we did follow our plan, right? So nothing wrong there, just didn't work out. We ended up playing the descending triangle after it continued to move, so bonus points there. All right, so MGM, same thing, 1 entry. I guess I could just start putting single entry there instead of 1 entry. It's kind of the same thing. 2-to-1, I believe 2-to-1 wouldn't have worked on this one, right? Get out of there. So the high was 1569, 1558. Oh, so it would have worked. Okay. So 2-to-1 would have worked on this one. And we followed our plan. Go down here. Put the MGM chart on there. And we're good to go. And we can go back to our dashboard. You'll see that everything that we just entered is in there. Oh, you know what we did forget to put in? We forgot to put in the risk. So there's another cool thing where it keeps track of your risk as well. So I guess it's a little iffy here because we'll just put 14. And then our risk was what, 1442 was the high day. So I guess that wouldn't have been, so we were looking for, let's just put 1392 since that's where we took our first profit. So yeah, so we were actually making 1-to-1 if we would have took all of it there at 1392, but we ended up with a little bit more because we partialed. So that's perfect. All right, let's go to this one. So our target price here was 51, 1351. And our stop loss was 1411. So we were risking 1020 to make 1020, and we ended up losing 1054. We got that cent slippage there. So, and then MGM, we actually got some slippage in our favor on this one. So the sell was at 1558. So we were looking for 30 cents. So stop price would have been 1588. And our target price was 1528. There we go. Risking 1020 to make 1020. We actually made 1088. So if we go back here, now if we go to the overview here on reports, you can see things like your overall R percentage and stuff like that. So here's our P&L curve since we started doing the 1-to-1 here. Where is it at? The net R. So here you go, like your average risk is around $11, average R 4.17. So it gives you all the like R's right? Your risk, reward, all that good stuff. It's just putting it all together by putting that into the system. That's what it gives us. So there's a lot of different things. Obviously, this is on a small sample size. Like if we go back, if we get rid of this, you can see my overall P&L curve from when since I've started trading, which isn't great. I think I'm like right around break even. Yeah, so we're actually down 166.65 overall from my trading. So it's a little crazy. It can be a little crazy, but hey, we're finally getting consistent, right? We're finally getting consistent, and hopefully we can kind of keep this going. So let's put it back to, what was it, April 2nd was when we started it, right? See if I can, yep, okay. So there we go. That's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Leave those down below in the video that I'm about to post a little bit later here on the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and timestamp the live stream once this thing is finished processing. I forgot yesterday, so sorry about that. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for Hump Day. Peace.